I'm fed up with this lost world.
Alright, so I think it's safe to assume that everyone was waiting for this one in particular.
Oh,
No,
you mean at like 2 a.m. the day it came out? Where's the Lost World Impressions video?
Yeah, it doesn't. It takes you more than 2 hours to beat the new game in the
Not when
franchise.
you have to deal with Lava Mountain Zone Act 3, it doesn't.
Jesus Christ! It's our Sonic Lost World Impressions video, ladies and gentlemen, and the review's coming. For God's sakes, give me time.
I'm fed
Video
up.
editing takes a lot of that.
I'm fed up with this lost world.
Okay,
All right,
let's-
so where to begin? Do we begin with the?
Okay, well, since this is such a hit or miss game, why don't we just go down the line for everybody who's played it, say hit or miss, and that'll basically just describe everything. So I'll start first. Miss.
Ted, control yourself. Your meds. All right.
Hits?
I just. Yeah,
Question mark?
there you go. Hit with a question mark at the very end of that. And you guys know it for months, ever since the game was initially revealed in was it April? No, May. It was revealed in May. Since the very first trailer, the only thing the first thing I thought was like, what the hell is this? And like throughout the months going by, I'm seeing footage of the game. I see Windy Hill acts, 1, 2, and 3. I see a bit of Frozen Factory. And I see a bit of the tropical island thing, and I was like, nothing's really changing my mind about this sort of thing. And it was really for the first time since like Sonic Unleashed that I was like, I really got to play this for myself to get a solid opinion on this, because I'm not seeing anything that's convincing me on either side. I'm not getting more negative with it. I'm not getting any more positive with it. But Jesus Christ, this game drove me nuts with just the anticipation of just finally getting to play the damn thing. And here we are. All right, so who wants to start? Because who's playing the game at this point? Me, Ryan, Ted, Clement, Lewis. You have to get to experience.
I played a level.
I almost bought the 3DS version, but all you people
No!
telling me how awful
do it.
the 3DS version
Don't do
is.
it.
Don't save yourself, Lewis.
Yes, I restrained myself because I was.
How about
spoiled.
those 3DS special stages, John?
Ah!
Oh, Jesus
Don't you have to like
Christ.
get up and spin around?
You look like a goddamn fool playing those stages.
As I told Johnny once, I want you to take that game to a theme park. Go into a special stage as you're going on a roller coaster, and see what happens.
You'll probably win.
I would laugh so hard.
Should
No.
we?
I'm trying to record that for your review, John, because
I'm
how
just-
the fuck
I'm
trying to
just
do
gonna
those
put-
with all the wires?
I'm just going to put a title card in between the special stages. Take my word for it. I completed the stage. Because I completely agree. If you were trying to record that son of a bitch with the 3DS capture, you can't, because the wires will hold down the gyroscope feature, and you have to turn your body around. Like, even if you sit down playing the game, your ass is gonna. I swear, at one point or another, your ass is gonna be upside down, hanging like a goddamn bat.
Yeah.
And if
And
you're
it-
standing up while playing it, you're spinning around in circles. You look like a damn fool.
And as one of those stupid people who actually tried getting all the Chaos Emeralds, Special Stage 4 and onwards literally made me dizzy. It made me ill. Like, it was gotten so bad, I had to keep turning my body over and over and over again with the maze labyrinths they want you to go through. And I was just getting so sick, I had to pause the game, collect my bearings, and then start it up again, because it's nauseating to play.
Wait, is this a special stage designed for spinning office chairs? Are you supposed to be sitting in a spinning office chair when you play this?
Lewis, that's the great thing about it. It makes everything you sit on a spinning office chair. Alright, I guess we should just start with the 3DS version. Has anyone else played the 3DS version?
I knew well
played
enough
it,
not to even bother.
I played it for like 5 minutes while I was at the store.
I
knew not to get it, so.
I have both the Wii U and 3DS version, and what I'm up to in the 3DS version, I am up to Frozen Factory, and right now my
Oh
general.
man, you're not even at the worst levels yet.
I've heard stories, and I've seen your Twitter feed. At this point in the game, the 3DS version of the game suffers from Sonic Hero syndrome. The levels are too fucking long.
Yeah.
They make you. There are many times during the level where it's like, this would be a great place to put the animal caps. No, we're going for another 6 minutes.
Did you like those? Did you like those last 3 puzzles? Here's a 4th puzzle.
Yeah, the levels really, really tend to fucking drag on.
And you know what? The games, the way Lost World is structured, there's no fucking excuse for that because you're loading different level chunks anyway. They might as well just split the acts into multiple acts.
Well, it's also just a complete antithesis for a handheld game. You're supposed to play handheld games on the go or in very
Exactly.
small bursts, but you're spending like 10 to 12 minutes on a level. It's like,
Which makes the spinny special stages even more vexing because are you going to be playing that on a bus or something?
What is he doing? I'm playing Sonic.
Some of the later levels in the 3DS version are god awful. Like I like the Wii U version. I'll say that right now before we get into that. But the 3DS version, no. Frozen Factory 3 has a gimmick where you have to push all these snowballs into holes, and you have to roll them along the ground so that they get bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. And while this is happening, you have like these giant killer snowmen who are chasing after you, who can destroy your snowball, by the way, and penguinators sliding after you and constantly getting in the way. And you have to go through, it must be like 4 of these situations where you have to roll one big snowball into a hole, and it literally takes like a minute each time, if you're lucky. And I swear I was stuck on that level for like 20 minutes. It wasn't like it was hard or anything. It was just, I kept getting bombarded with all these stupid puzzles, and I kept putting them in the wrong holes because some of them just lead to red rings. It's the most confusing level design.
That sounds like it's asking for a Silver the Hedgehog ROM hack.
Pretty much. And then they have this Quake Wisp, which they introduce in the 5th zone, Silent Forest, where it's gyro control, just like the special stages. Meaning, you don't move it with the control stick, you have to tilt the Nintendo 3DS where it goes, and you have to pound on switches with the Quake Wisp too. And it's in this big swampy area where if your Quake Wisp goes away, you're stuck in this slow, mossy, like grassy stuff that Sonic can't run in. He can only walk in. So every time you fail with the Quake Wisp, which has a really strict time limit, you have to do everything right, otherwise you're stuck in swamp. And then you're stuck in swamp waddling through as a very slow Sonic. It's awful level design. Like, it was just getting to the point where I was like, okay, the Wisps have become the Big the Cat / Werehog of this game. The Wii U version, they're mostly optional, mostly. But in the 3DS version, you have to be the Asteroid Wisp for Sky Road 2, and you have to be exact with your timing, and you have to do it this way, and you have to do it this way. And it was just, it wasn't so much as Sonic platforming through a level, it was Sonic having to do all these stupid puzzles, which doesn't feel like Sonic to me, you know?
Yeah, it's not like Sonic Colors, where for the most part Wisps were optional power-ups. Obviously, you use a Wisp, say like in Planet Wisps, you use the Rocket Wisp to get to a higher level to get extra goodies and stuff like that. But for the most part, in the 3DS version of Lost World, you have to use Wisps in these predetermined locations to get from point A to point B. Yeah, you can't advance. Like there's one particular section in, I think it was like Zone 3 of the Tropical Island area, where you had to use drill over in underwater areas. You have to get past these twisters underwater because drill is the only thing capable of breaking through them, and there's a bottomless pit beneath you. So if you fuck up, waste too much time, your ass is dead. And
it's so strict.
I hate shit like that. It's a problem I actually think goes into the Wii U version of the game too, but for the 3DS version, when you got those mandatory Wisp parts, your punishment for not getting through it most of the time is death, and I don't like that. I hate that shit.
Sounds like standard Dimp's design to me.
You're not the first person to say that.
The thing is, I actually like Colors, Generations, Rush. You know, I generally like Dimp's games, but this is the worst Dimp's game they have ever made.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I don't think Dimp's handled the 3DS Generations version, did they?
I think they did.
I believe that. Well, if in that case, I didn't find that to be obnoxious when it came to level design. When it came to bottomless pits, because the Generation 3DS has a completely different problem I have in terms of level design. But when it came to like Colors DS or Rush Adventure, I really didn't have any problems when it just came to do or die situations. But this game, it's really fucking apparent, and you just can't help but be bothered by that sort of thing.
It's just every level has to have a gimmick. Every level has to be not a Sonic level where you just run and play. It has to be, okay, you have to use the Wisp to go underwater. Okay, you have to push snowballs. Okay, you have to push fruit into this fan so that you can fill up the place with water or whatever.
And then we want you to
On the
sacrifice
subject
it.
of level gimmicks, yes, we do want more of those in Sonic games, but they shouldn't rule the level. That's the...
That's the critique I have for Lost World in its entirety, including 3DS and Wii U. The game
Has no
has
idea what it wants.
severe identity issues. It has no idea what it wants to do.
You have
that
levels
said-
where it's the Sonic Extreme kind of 2-bit levels, you have a few 2D side-scrolling ones, you have lots of gimmick ones, and you have some open 3D ones. It's like, make up your mind, game.
Yeah, and with that said, we should probably go into the Wii version, what we've all played at this point in time, except Lois.
Yeah, I still need a Wii U.
Who wants to go first? Ted? I think you should go first.
I was watching Ted's Twitter feeds while he was playing the game. It was
Yeah,
not
so was
encouraging.
I have not been this frustrated playing a Sonic game since since Secret Rings. I think
You haven't played Sonic 06 yet.
Oh, I don't even really count that one because that game's not even finished. Okay,
Well, yeah, well, let's establish this right now. There's a difference between Sonic 06 bad, where it's all technical, and then whatever this kind of bad is, which has to do with just design.
I would put Lost World above 06 at least.
No, I'm just saying it would be comparing apples and apples and meatloaf. Sorry, it would be comparing apples with meatloaf. You know, it's two different kinds of quality problems that we're talking about. So I don't really want to compare Sonic Lost World to 06, no matter how good or bad it is. It could because a Lost World, I think we can all agree, is finished game. They didn't.
It's a finished game, and there are actually a lot of things that are good about the game.
Everything
Like, for
around
example-
the actual game itself is really great. It's the game itself I have problems with.
Another thing that actually isn't okay. Well, sort of. I don't have a problem with the game, how the game controls when Sonic is on a flat 3D surface or inside one of the tubes. I actually think this is one of the best 3D Sonic controls in those situations. But when he's on the outside of a cylinder, or even I hate how he controls there, because moving left or right just makes everything turn so sharply that I get disoriented. And this is the first time a 2D Sonic game has controlled worse than the 3D parts in it for me. Yeah. Well, the thing is that Sonic doesn't control like he does in any the Genesis games or something. He feels very clunky. He doesn't run as fast as he could in those games. He doesn't jump as far.